Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all. Anyways, okay. Hi, I'm back. Um, I know, and I said in like the last video, I would maybe do a continuation. So like this is what it is. So, I have to say it. I had a thought. um yeah, to just continue on in terms of like ways, or like what it means to be human, or like ways to support human being um in a world that is very much built to go against that. So yeah, and I feel like this is going to be a rather on the shorter side, if I'm not lying. Imagine if I say that and it's like 50 minutes long. No, I really do think it'll be on the shorter side because I don't know. I feel like I'm not feeling very yappy. My mind isn't feeling very yappy. So I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be on the shorter side, which maybe some of you will love. I don't know. But yeah, I know in the last video I was like, what was it in terms of like what was it, relating to nature, like connecting with nature. I was like, I'm a bit unsure about that one. But I think for this one, what I'm gonna start here is I think I'm more unsure about this one. It's like, because I don't know if it's like more of a me thing, and I don't know if I've necessarily observed and or talked with other people in terms of like their habits around this thing. So I would really actually love, you know, if you listen and like you're willing and able to like actually like share your thoughts with me in the comments, in terms of, yeah, like what do you think about this like proposition. I'd love to like, co-construct this with y'all and get your thoughts. That'd be fun. um but yeah, so this one, which I actually, this one was one I kind of just forgot to like put in the last one. And so after I filmed it, it was like a week and I was like, oh my god, wait. So this one is like creating things, and being like a creator, and not just like a consumer. And I do think consuming is a big part, a big part. Do I mean that? A part of like, being human. Like you have to consume food, you have to get your energy from something. You can't just always be, putting your energy into stuff, I guess. Um but I think in this society, I feel like the consumer part has kind of, hmm, is this on? Okay, I just have to make sure it was on, because if I go through this whole thing and it's not on, I'm going to like throw my iPad across the room. um, what was I saying? Yeah, I feel like the consumer piece has kind of been blown out of proportion, and now it's like way too big of a portion of the pie, and it's obviously causing like, some problems, and affecting our ability to just be and exist as whole human beings. And so I feel like a part of a way to reclaim wholeness is through putting more of our energy into actually creating things. And I think maybe this part is, more of a like a type of like way of creating, or like, um maybe different people will gain the positives of creating in terms of like sustaining or like rebuilding wholeness, um in like different ways. And maybe this is just one way, but I think in terms of like creating and putting just an aspect of yourself like into something, you know what I mean? So it's like, just if you sat down somewhere and you started like, I don't know, sewing something, or like embroidering something, and you're like, you have a vision in your mind, and like that vision you have is very much, I don't know, it's like a manifestation of you, of like, your thoughts or like your feelings or just how you think in a sense. And it's like putting that into something tangible that you can just like look at and admire. Like after you're done, it might not even be the thing that you were originally trying to create, but like you just get to a point with it where you're like, oh my God, actually maybe that's better than what I was thinking. And just that process of creating, and then like just admiring what you end up creating. I don't know what it is. I don't know the mechanics, but I feel like, at least to me, and this is why I'm saying like I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I don't think I heard enough of other people's thoughts in terms of like the effect of creating for them, and like what creating actually is for them. Because I feel like when we say creating, I think we automatically think about, something artsy in terms of like painting, um, or like drawing or like making music, and those are definitely things. But I think people like don't necessarily. So, for example, I was like, someone I know would be like, I'm not creative, and I'd kind of just look at her like, what do you mean? Like, I just like, what do you mean? Like, I feel like as a human being, like, yeah, I don't know, I feel like I know what we mean. Like creative is like, oh, I guess this person is like, like kind of like out of the box, and like they're always in maybe like what we consider traditional creative pursuits, and like they're good at it, or like they're just like an out of the box type of thinker or something. um but like I don't know, like this person like creates knowledge, like new knowledge, and like contributes to like moving forward with certain types of knowledge, and that's like creating thing, like intellectual work is still creative work. um I don't know, like sitting down with your friends and like discussing something, and like maybe like creating theories out of like your experiences is also something creative. And maybe for different people that might not have the same effect. But like maybe that's okay. Like maybe the thing that everyone needs to partake in to get the maximum hit, um of the positives of creating is different. um and that is fine, you know because I feel like, at least for me, the intellectual stuff is fun, and like I do definitely get a hit out of that, or just maybe like analyzing media, or talking about like different themes and like media, or like philosophy and media is like fun. um Maybe a little more than just you know maybe I was about to say like then maybe like writing a paper, but like I feel like the reason why that doesn't give as much of a boost is because it is definitely bound by external values that kind of just need to be upheld. um and sometimes it's like, well, why do they need to? It's just a whole thing, and it's like tied up in things that don't really make sense sometimes. And it's like further just promoting the opposite of wholeness. I guess like a fragmentation. So there's that. So maybe that's why. But I guess maybe it's like spaces in which you can actually create for yourself, from yourself, like fully from yourself. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, yeah, I think if I would boil it down, maybe that's what it is. And just having that autonomy and, enjoying your freedom as a human being, um, to just put your mind and a piece of who you are into just something, and just being able to be like, "Ah, yeah, like that's good." Like I did that, or just admire and be like, "Oh my God, like that came out of me. Oh my God, what did that say about me?" And kind of just sitting with that, I feel like is a very healing thing. Um, and healing, I feel like, is very much returning to that wholeness of being a human being. So yeah, there's that. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on, I guess, what type of creating do you engage with that you just feel like, oh, this feels like so like a breath of fresh air. It feels like the air is crisper and I'm enjoying breathing in, and I just feel like it makes me feel like lighter. It makes the tension in my body kind of like melt away. Like, what type of creating does that look like for you? Um and do you think that creating is like something that is just integral to being human, and moving towards being a whole human being and supporting the soul's wholeness? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Um, yeah. And then this next one, I feel like kind of plays into that, and maybe also into like the idea in the last video where I was like, um, connecting with nature. And also for that one, wait, did I? No, I feel like I said that one on that video. I feel like I was gonna say something else for that one that I thought of that I forgot to say, but I kind of just forgot it. So if it comes back, I'll say it. If not, it was something with like nature or something. Um, but yeah, it's this idea of like play or like recreation. Um, you know, I, f- I feel like like the work is very essential to also being a human being. Like, I feel like anyone who just hasn't worked, or like has just been idle for an extended period of time, just knows that that's just not, it's not the vibes. It feels awful. It feels like you're in a prison. And even like I took a class on like, I forgot its name, but it was like like occupational like health and safety, like psycho psychological safety in the workplace, or something like that, um and and one of the things the professor taught us was like, especially like if people are like away on just like disability or something, um oftentimes like you don't want to like just put them out of a job, like lay them off or something. You just want to like find a job that maybe they can do that's like different than what they have now, just so they're still integrated in the community, and like they still feel like they have some sort of agency, because like if they kind of just leave the job, like it just worsens like whatever symptoms, especially like psychologically, that they may be facing, um or at least that's what I remember. So yeah, like I think work is definitely a thing that we want to do, and I don't we need to do, and I don't necessarily think that we don't want to do it. Like, if we are in a situation like that, like we start itching to find something to do, right? So I think that's very much a part of our nature, but I think the way, again, that our societies are like built, it's too much. Like, there's no balance, and I feel like there needs to be a balance. Like, I feel like we would the path to wholeness is rooted in balance, I feel. um because I think, especially for people who are just grinding hard, working nonstop. Maybe in toxic workplaces, like it's even more important to just find small moments in the day, um, to just, have fun, to just play, to do something recreational. Um, whether it's like, I mean, you could really go to like an adult playground, with your friends or something, or like do something that you haven't done in a minute, like hula hoop or something, or like, I don't know, go to the park and be on the swings, or like I don't know, like play Ring Around a Rosie. I don't know, just something that's just like unserious. Just reminds you that like, oh, like I'm literally on a rock, and like my everything seems so magnified to me, but like I'm like a little dot on like an A4 paper. It's like so silly when you think about it. It's like, wow, like we have like our whole ecosystem going on, but like there's just so much beyond us. And like we literally choose to make ourselves our ecosystem kind of shitty. Isn't that so crazy? Isn't that so insane? But anyways, yeah, so there's that. And I think that honestly might be it. See, it wasn't that long. I kept to my word. It's like half of the old video. But yeah, I do. Hmm, I don't necessarily know if I want to put this idea with this like associated with like being human or not, but I'm also thinking about, a future video in terms of um kind of like being realistic, or um yeah, now that I say it, I feel like it should be another video. I feel like it is definitely like a theme, that can relate to this in terms of like being human, or really like going and pursuing wholeness. Um, and kind of just want to like subvert some things that I feel like have just kind of been sneakily lodged in like the psyche of society, or at least this society that I'm specifically a part of. And honestly, I would say a lot of, you know, maybe like it's like a capitalist thing. Um, that'd be interesting to explore. So maybe it's like capitalist societies. I don't know. That'd be interesting. Um, in terms of like being realistic and like optimistic, and like just how people use that, and like kind of the themes that are like below that, and kind of like bringing things to light in that. And yeah, so I think that'll be a separate video though. Teehee. I just needed to talk it out, but yeah, thanks for listening if you made it this far. And yeah, remember to let me know your thoughts below if you have any you want to share. I'd love to hear them. But yeah, it's been real.